Hi guys, welcome to Three Pages In. My name's Eden.
I'm Chloe.
I'm Macy.
Yay! And if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see that we're not all together today, which is sad, but it's okay because we're still together on the computer, right? That makes
In our
sense.
Yeah,
heart.
it's fun.
Yeah, and in our hearts. But we got a good episode for you guys. Basically, as you can see from the title, we're going to be doing some winter reading wrap-ups, talk about some of our favorite winter reads, and see if we read the books that we told you we were going to try to read in winter, and then also share our one book on our spring TBR, something we want to read this spring. So we did this. When was this? At the end of fall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 3 months ago
And
already.
Yeah. And I went back and listened. We went back and listened to like part of that episode. And we were seeing if we read our books that we said we were going to read at the end of summer.
So
And
crazy.
we didn't do great, I realized. But that's okay. That's fine.
You know what? It's all about progress. One
Mhm.
way or the other.
Yeah.
It's good or bad. We're at least reading books. May not
Yeah.
always be the book that we say we're going to read, but we're
Yeah.
reading some books and some good ones. I'm excited for us to talk about the ones that we've read. At least the ones that I read, I really, really enjoyed. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any updates from this past week?
I am just in the middle of Sunrise on the Reaping. I went out of town for
Mm.
the last like couple days, and my plan was to finish it like the first day, and then I just was spending time with family, and I literally read half a chapter. So I'm still like halfway through, um, but it's already really good. I've already cried, so
Really? Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
it's so good.
I know I've heard the ending is insane. You finished it, right, Chloe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Did
love
it.
like
Really?
I was talking to some other people that have read it, some of our other friends have read it, and I was like, it honestly might just be like recency bias, but like maybe my favorite Hunger Games book. I'm not even joking.
Wow.
And
I could totally see that,
it
and I'm
made,
only
I mean,
halfway.
it was so fun. Like the whole story was so fun. It made a lot of stuff like make more sense too. And
Same.
like it was really good. I loved it. And it's also
Yeah,
very
I
sad.
I meant to text you, Chloe, but I finished the end of Mockingjay.
Hmm.
Um, like after I had read the first couple chapters of Sunrise on the Reaping, because I was like, wait, I need to go back and finish it. And already the final scene in Mockingjay, when it's like in
Yeah.
the future, and Candace and Peeta have their kids, like there was one line about Haymitch, and it already had tied into Sunrise on the Reaping, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, like it already like
Wait.
ripped my heart out. And I was like, I've only read two chapters of Sunrise on the Reaping. How
Oh,
is this already doing that?
Yeah.
frick. Should I? Oh, I wish I reread the books then right before.
It's okay. You don't have to.
You don't have
Sure.
to, but yeah.
Things might hit different. It's fine. I can reread them after.
Honestly, though, when
Read
you
it.
read it, even Sunrise on the Green, whether you read it recently or not, like it hits.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. I loved it. So,
Yeah, I'm excited. Also, I just have to mention this, but I just got back from Europe and it was my favorite or my first time going, also my favorite trip. But guys, literally everywhere I went and everywhere I walked, I literally just was like, "Oh, this reminds me of this book." Or this reminds me of this book. And I was like, "Oh, I wish I just lived here and I could just like read in different places because it was such a freaking vibe." Also, I don't think I told you guys this, but last episode you guys maybe it wasn't even the episode, but you guys gave me suggestions on what I should read for the cruise. And you know what's so sad? I bought like 5 of the books and I had like downloaded them, but I didn't like like the other download step.
oh,
Like
you
I
have to
got them
open
on my
them?
Kindle, but I didn't download them and I had no Wi-Fi throughout the whole trip.
No.
And so I was so freaking sad because then I ended up finishing Butcher and Blackbird and I also finished Gone Girl.
Oh,
Um,
good.
I started Onyx Storm because those are the three I had
You already
downloaded.
had.
I didn't get to like any of the summary ones, but it's fine because that'll just be for spring.
Yeah, I was literally about to say.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
Wait, you started Onyx Storm?
Yeah. I literally thought I had read like 50 pages and it hasn't even gone to 2%. So And it's like a long book. That's an exaggeration, but I'm like, holy crap. I feel like I've already read so much.
Yeah.
It's a long one,
The
but it's
beginning also
good.
kind of like a little bit of like whiplash. I'm like, I'm everywhere. I
What's
did.
going on?
Yeah.
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 But honestly, because of next episode, I'm gonna have to put that on pause and finish Sunrise on the Reaping. Then we'll get back to it.
Yeah. So this is
Yes, yeah.
listen up because
Okay.
next episode we're doing Sunrise on the Reaping. We chose that as our March book club book.
Yeah.
So
Go get it.
yep,
I'm so excited. I just got the hard copy and I have Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes in hard copy, so I'm like, I just need to get the rest of the series. Anyways.
yeah.
I love it. Also something that we should talk about before we talk about our winter and spring books. There's a book that comes out when this is posted, it'll come out tomorrow that I'm very, very excited about. Talk about it in a little bit, but April 1st, so tomorrow, April Fool's Day, Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings comes out. And all hail Jessa Hastings. We love her so much. So we're very, very excited for that.
So true.
Very
Yes,
excited.
pre-order that if you haven't, because it comes out tomorrow. I guess tonight. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Anyways, but I guess with that, we should jump into our winter wrap up.
Let's do
So
it.
we also,
Accountability
yeah, this is our time to confess whether we read our books or not. And if
sessions.
we did or didn't, it doesn't matter because the point is we tried. Okay. Who wants to start with the book they said?
I can start because I did not read my book.
That's okay.
I remember when we filmed that episode or recorded that episode, I had like two books and Chloe picked the other book that I was thinking of, so I picked some random book and I didn't end up reading my random book. So the book that I said I was going to read is Unwanted Guest by Sherry LaPena. And I predicted that I would give it 3 stars. And you know what? I am holding myself accountable. I will read it in the near future. I don't know when, but I will read it. I just
Yeah.
did not read it before we filmed this episode.
So whenever
So
you're in a thriller mood, you'll get to it.
exactly. I can't even remember the last thriller that I read. It was probably The Boyfriend when that came out a couple months ago. So yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I'm realizing the more that I read, the more I'm realizing I'm definitely a mood reader. Like if I'm not in the mood, I'm not gonna pick it up. And so even if there's books that I like have to read for like book club or for this, I'm not in the mood, I'm not gonna pick it up. Anyway, so unfortunately I did not get to that. So stay tuned. In the future, I will have an accurate review. But
That is okay. I'm a mood reader when a situation allows, but like I've had all my books packed up since we're moving, so I've just been getting what was on my Kindle. I'll go because I also didn't read my book. I chose Devil Wears Prada by Lauren Weisberger, but that this is just from complete negligence. Like I just didn't write it down. Like I totally forgot that I was going to read this. Um, so it's gonna be a spring one. We'll just push it on to spring, and then
And then
I'm
we'll
like,
watch the movie.
oh, yes, guys.
I feel like that's a good spring book.
I agree.
And the movie was on like all the planes that I was flying and I wanted to watch it so bad. I was like, I gotta read the book first, so
It's a good plane movie. So I guess we'll have to go on a trip so we can all watch it on the plane together. And
just
then
for that, we don't even explore wherever we land. We just go on the plane.
yeah. And then watch Crazy Rich Asians on the way back.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Okay, Chloe.
So the book I picked that Eden also talked about reading, which I think we talked about a little bit on the podcast. I honestly don't remember. I think we touched on it a little bit, but it was Manacled by
Mm-hmm.
Sen Liu, the fan fiction, Hermione fanfic for any of you wondering what it's about. I think we kind of explained it. It's Draco and Hermione in a sad, dark world, and it was so good. It's
I
so long.
yes.
Like I
I think
remember,
it
Isn't it the longest book either of you have read? Like, isn't it that long?
I
I
want
think
to
so.
say
For
yes
me, yes.
because I mean the book is like I don't remember how many pages it says. I don't really remember, but the word count I think is the longest word count book.
This is I just Googled it and then according to Google I don't know if this is real,
Yeah.
370,000
I
words.
Googled it earlier today because I was thinking about other books, and I want to say I was looking at book stuff, whatever. Crescent City is like 2,500 words,
Yeah.
and that's an
Well,
800-page book.
150.
the Kingdom of Ash, yeah, 250. Kingdom of Ash is
Oh,
270,000 words, and that's like 1,000 pages, right?
almost exact.
100,000 words more is crazy.
Yeah,
And
but
Anyway,
it flew, honestly. Like it's long, but
when did you start it? How long did it take both of you?
ooh,
yeah, wait, I'm just gonna, but this was the book that I like was planning on reading already, and so I did read it as well. I think it took me like 10 days maybe,
yeah, I'm checking.
week.
That's so fast.
This.
For how long it is? Yeah,
That's really
for
fast.
me, for me, it's
No,
really
that's
fast for
just
me.
fast in general for how long that is.
Okay, I could have marked this incorrectly. I don't remember, but my Goodreads says I read it in 5 days. I don't know if I believe that though. I may have marked it late, but yeah, it's
So it,
it's that. But it was so
I,
good. It was
I
so.
think it's one of my favorite books I've ever read.
I predicted that I was going to give it a 5, and I gave it a 5. So
You know, when I texted you guys, I was like, have either of you been to Spain? I don't
Yeah.
know if they followed up with why I asked that, but the Sagrada Familia, if you look it up, it's like one of the, I think it's the tallest church in the world, but it's like incredible, beautiful. Like, I literally thought the whole time I was in Spain, I was at Harry Potter World. Like, look it up. It's like a gothic, like Hogwarts. I literally was like, this is so freaking cool. So it's on my path to reread all of the Harry Potters because, guys, the last time I read Harry Potter was literally probably in middle school, um, or even late elementary school. I don't know. So I gotta reread it and then I'll read Manacled, but I'm saving it for like more fall vibes.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
not,
definitely.
not giving winter, or I mean not winter, or spring or summer.
Summer. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely fall, winter vibes for sure. And I didn't reread Harry Potter before. I don't know if necessarily
But
you have to reread.
you have reread it way more recently than I have. You both know Harry Potter way more than I have. You've seen the movies more than I have. Like, I need a refresher. I
Okay, yeah.
You could just read the first like 5 or 6. You don't have
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. If you
that
do read
actually
it,
might be cooler. And
I
don't
wouldn't read the last one.
okay. Okay, that's fair.
Because yeah, for those of you who aren't familiar, Manacled takes place. Is it after the sixth? After their sixth year, or technically at the beginning of their sixth year at
Yes,
Hogwarts?
the timeline changes because of an event that happens then compared to anyways, but
Yeah, but that's where it branches off from
mhm,
like the regular timeline. I don't that sounds so weird saying that, but like it's true.
yeah.
It's there's a few different things that happen in the beginning of their sixth year that um cause them to like be completely different and in a different situation. It's as if Voldemort won. But anyways, there's things that happen their sixth year and it's oh my gosh,
So
life-changing, amazing. I have like edits saved on my TikTok that people have made, and I bawl my eyes out every time. And
same.
every time I even just think of them.
And it's funny too because it's a fan fiction. The people that make these edits are working with scraps. Like the tiniest scenes that either like Draco or Hermione's in the actual movie. And they'll edit them in a way that makes you think they're in the same room or interacting with each other. It's a completely different scene, maybe in a completely different movie. Like it's like
People
we're
are so
working with
talented.
nothing. It's so funny.
I know. This is a little side note, but I feel like lately I've seen on TikTok actual like movie production companies are starting to make edits of like and like post them of their own movies, and everyone's like, give the social media person a raise. Like
Yeah,
this is
literally.
amazing. I love it. But yes, I'm just gonna I'll because we're also talking about a couple of books that we did read during winter, so I'll just piggyback off Chloe. I read
Yep.
that one too, and
But that one, I mean, I
amazing.
don't really have much else to say about it other than if you are interested, look it up and read it. If like you're interested in it, I just say go for it because it was so good. It was a journey. Happy, sad, cried. It was so good. So
How did you guys read it again? Like, is it like a
The
PDF
Kindle.
Kindle.
or you actually
Yes.
put on your
I
Kindle?
don't. Okay.
It so
I
they
don't
took it off.
there. It's off
Yes, they took it
AOSP.
off. they took it off the website, but there are places that you can find it on Reddit if you look it up. And you can just someone can send it to you over email, and there's a version. It's super nice. It's like an ebook version of the book. So like it like looks like a normal book on Kindle. I
Yeah.
think you can even change the font size and like yeah. So
There's
it's just
not
like normal.
pages. It's location. You know how Kindle does that? But
I've
what?
seen
Mhm.
that, but I've never used it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So yeah, that was my first winter wrap-up book I want to talk about. Manacled, so good.
Yay. And I guess that can for me too. So Macy, do you want to talk about a book?
Sure. Okay, I'm so excited to report I finally finished Gone Girl ah! by Gillian Flynn. Was this my fall?
Yes. I was gonna say when I went
Oh,
back and listened for it was the one that you said you wanted to read in the fall.
yes.
I could
I've
talk
been
about a little bit.
reading this book for way too freaking long, but I think the format of it just wasn't working for me because it was like a really old copy that's like super thick, like tons and tons of pages, but they're like really thin and narrow.
Hmm.
Like weird. And then once I downloaded it on my Kindle, I like read through it so like way faster, even though I usually read faster on paper books, so I don't know. But I finally finished that. It was so good. And then, okay, literally, I was like, Nick, we have 2.5 hours left on our flight, on our 11-hour flight back from Rome. And I was like, I have a movie for us to watch. He's like, okay, download it. So I was like, had 10 pages left. I was like, download Gone Girl. And then we watched Gone Girl right after I finished it, which was also fun because I literally was like, oh, wow, like the differences. And it was really interesting to see what they chose to put in the movie or how they changed things. But we both really enjoyed it, and it was like way more eerie of
Hmm.
a movie than I was expecting. Have either of you watched it?
Yeah, I've
You've
seen.
seen it?
I have not,
I
but
didn't
Koi has.
realize how like low-key gory and like intense it was, but it was really good.
I
The book,
remember
I
when I
really
was
liked the
watching,
book
like,
too.
sorry, what would you say?
No, I just really liked the book too.
Yeah, I remember when I was watching it, I was not expecting it to go the way it did, but I was like, oh, I was like, oh
Yeah.
man.
Honestly, the book is so good because it just makes you realize how much you can't fit into a movie, but the book is so good because you get all of both main characters like background and like insight and like their thoughts, and it's just done super well. So that was my big winter read.
Which did you like more, the book or movie?
Honestly, probably the book.
Nice.
Definitely
What'd you
honestly
give
the
it?
book just because there's more context.
Yeah.
But the movie's done super well too, and the ending is low key kind of different because the way they did it in the book, I don't know how you could have done it in the movie. So, anyways, I would recommend both of you to read it.
What did you rate the book?
4, high 4.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really good.
This is a little bit of a side note, but have either of you guys heard of the like real life Gone Girl case?
Yes, not until literally like this week at work. I told
Oh,
somebody
really?
I watched it on the flight and they're like, "Oh, this it's like people think it's based off of they like took it from the real case or whatever."
Yeah, there's like a kidnapping that happened like the same year that Gone Girl the movie came out, and there's like a lot of similarities that are like super weird, and so everyone was like not believing like her boyfriend. Anyways, there's a Netflix like true crime like docu-series type thing called American Nightmare. So if you're
Yes,
interested,
that's
I won't
awesome.
say anything. Yeah, I won't say anything because it could potentially ruin some things in the book, but
That's
American
crazy.
Nightmare.
That's so crazy to say. Like, don't watch the real life documentary because it might spoil this fiction book.
Yeah, that is
I
funny.
know that is, but
Yeah, no, that's a good side note.
Okay, my next winter read that it was actually an audiobook listen for me. And I think I can't remember if I mentioned it on the podcast that when I read it or not. I honestly don't remember. But it is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, which was
Mhm.
so good. So good. I'm not a huge sci-fi gal. Um, I wasn't intimidated, but I was not really planning to reach for it when I did. But I've been looking for good audiobooks, and everyone and their freaking mom is like, you need to listen to Project Hail Mary. So I was like, okay, fine. I listened to it, and holy crap, it was nothing like I was expecting. I was didn't really have much, like, I didn't really. have an opinion before going into it what I thought it was going to be like, and I'm glad I didn't. So if you want to go in blind, you should do it because the
You're
audiobook,
hyping it up a lot, Chloe.
you guys, it's so good.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been on my TBR for a long time because my mom read it last year or listened to it last year and was like, you have to, same thing. She doesn't like sci-fi, but she's like, you or isn't super big into sci-fi. I was like, you have to listen to this book. But after you've listened to it now, I think it's on my short TBR list. I've
Yeah,
only heard amazing things.
Or
we,
I'm listening to it right
we
now.
started it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's really good. It's really good.
You don't know how far into it you are?
I think 25-30%.
And
Um,
no, keep
oh,
going.
no, I was gonna say you said last time that there's something that makes it like really unique, but you can't tell, and I don't know what that is yet.
You'll
So,
learn. It's
okay.
you'll learn relatively soon, I think. The
Okay.
reason why I also really enjoyed it as a non-sci-fi reader is because of like where the story goes. I'm not gonna say what happens, but it is so good. It's pretty sciencey, but I will say not to the point when I was reading it that I was like, I'm too confused. He uses science words, but he explains things pretty well, and you don't have to like understand the concepts of like the calculations and the science behind it to get where the book is going. So don't worry about that if that's something you're like worried about. So good. Oh my gosh. And the narrator does such a good job. The way he like talks, his cadence like made it seem like it was his actual thoughts, which I really enjoyed like
And
listening
his
to
other
it.
voices and accents,
Yeah, he does good.
insane. Yeah, yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it was so good. I gave it a 4.5, I think.
Wow.
But honestly, like the more I think about it, like I part of me wants to
I was
give
gonna
it
say,
a 5.
you've been talking about it so much and hyping it up so much, I feel like it should get a 5.
I had
Me.
Jake just read it, and I
Yeah.
saw he gave it like he like gave it a 5 and then wrote in his Goodreads like 6 out of 5 stars. It was so good.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Dang.
So
He should have been
Love
our
it.
top speaker today. Come
yeah,
give a little
there you
bit of
go. Yeah. Also, you should read this if anyone has an interest to read it before you have a year, because I think it comes out as a movie March 20th, I want to say. And Ryan
Of
Gosling,
2026.
yeah, 2026. And Ryan
Wow.
Gosling is the main guy. So
Wow.
yeah,
That'll be
Yes,
so good.
please.
I know. So good. Yay.
Okay, sweet. I can talk about my next book. So my plan was I wanted to finish the Throne of Glass series like before the end of the year, and then I wanted to read Manacled right after. So it's kind of a lot. But I think I ended up finishing the Throne of Glass series like December 30th. And um so the book that I want to talk about is Kingdom of Ash. And
You wanted
I'm not sorry, what?
You said you wanted pain. Manacled, Kingdom of Ash. Like you're like hurt me.
It was in a book. The mood
Literally.
reader, like something was going on.
Yeah, no, it was over Christmas break. I don't know what I was feeling, but I literally finished Kingdom of Ash at like 1 in the morning and I started Manacled at like 7 a.m.
Oh
Like
my
I didn't even give myself time to really process Kingdom of Ash in the moment. And the more that I thought about it, the more I was like, oh, like, oh, okay, like that just happened.
It's like bus,
Um,
club, another club.
100%. And I'm not going to talk about the plot at all because obviously it's the ending of a 8-book series, and so I don't want to give anything away. But um, it was amazing. I would say that one and Queen of Shadows. Actually, and I love Crown of Midnight. There's so many really good books in that series, and I just feel like Kingdom of Ash really tied it all up together super nicely, and I really enjoyed like all aspects of the ending, which I feel like doesn't often in like big like long series. And so just shout out to Sarah J. Maas. She's amazing. I
Yeah.
think I gave it 5 stars. Again, if I had to choose to read a book on its own, that would not be in my top favorite books, but because of the series and just where everything ended up, I really enjoyed it. So yeah, she's a queen. Love her so much. 5 stars always. But yeah, Kingdom of Ash
It's a
was my
good,
heart.
it's a good ending to like this series. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like I mean it's an 8 freaking page series or a book series. It's long, but she does a good job of like making everything relate, tying it all together, like It's a pretty but a sad bow. But it's good. But it's really good. So
I'm feeling
Yeah.
I'm feeling the urge to take on the series in the summer. I think that might be like my big.
Please do. Please
It's
do.
been a while, but
It took me a long time.
I mean it's
so
It
long.
took me a long time.
It's
is
freaking
it,
long.
maybe I'll start now. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling.
But yeah, I love, if anything, you should just put holds on Libby for all her
That's
books.
a good point, actually. Yeah, fair.
Because it took it my mom started listening to all of them, so she placed holds for all of them like a couple months before she started listening to them. And then I think she listened to the first one and then got busy and
I
didn't listen to
need
any of them.
That's why I need more library cards because I only get 8 holds. So I just have a hold on just the whole series.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I
need
share it with
more.
my dad, so technically I have like 4.
Get a library card where you're at now.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to do that.
Yes, this is your sign, everyone. If you're interested in starting Throne of Glass, go on Libby. Just request holds on the books now because you never know when you're going to want to start reading them, and it's going to be a long wait.
Wait, did
Um,
you listen to it or read them?
I read them.
I
And did
did.
you read
Wait,
them, Chloe?
Yeah, I read them.
Okay. So you recommend reading them? Yeah, I think after
yes.
my experience of listening to ACOTAR, I think I want to read them because I think I'll like them more, but
Yeah, I think my stance on like books and audiobooks has shifted a little bit in the last couple months. And I think Throne of Glass has to do with that. The first time I read a series or like anything big, if it's just one book, I like standalone book, I don't mind listening to it. But if it's like a series or something that I'm really excited about, I love reading it at least the first time, and then I can go back and like listen to them.
totally.
But I feel like you just get a little bit more out of it. But that's not to say that you don't with audiobooks because the ACOTAR series I've only listened to and I've listened to it multiple times and I absolutely love it. So it's not to say that you can't get as much out of it with audiobooks, but sometimes it's just different.
Yeah. No, totally.
But anyways, that's my book, Kingdom of Ash.
Yay. Okay, my next one was The House in the Cerulean Sea, which I actually just had it come in the mail yesterday because I actually listened to it, but for a friend's birthday party we're bedazzling books, and I thought this would be a really cute one to bedazzle because of the colors.
Cute.
So I just ordered it because I just loved this book so freaking much, you guys. And I didn't even read this till now, but
Oh, I
VB
know.
I just have to read it. So many. His quote for this book is, "I loved it. It is like being wrapped in a big gay blanket. Simply
Yeah.
perfect." But like genuinely,
I
it's so
love it.
good. It's just like it is found family and it's really happy and it's really cute and honestly it just inspired me to be like a better person, and I think it just is so good at like encapsulating just the theme of empathy, and I think we need that with where we're at in life right now and where the world is at. So I don't know, I just really like that book. I didn't realize there's a second one.
Mm-hmm.
It
It,
just came out.
It
oh,
came out
it's
a few months ago. Yeah.
okay. Oh, okay, that's why. I was like, I've never seen. I don't know if I want to read it just because I don't want it to ruin how good the first
I've
one is.
heard mixed things about it. I have it on hold
Same.
and I get every so often, but I haven't been in like the mood to read it yet. I probably will because I loved the first one and I love the characters.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it is.
Yeah. But I gave it a 4.75. It should be a 5, but that's what I gave it as being specific.
It is so good. I love that book.
I love it. The book is so good. Good
It's
cozy vibes.
you guys
Yeah.
listen to it?
Yeah.
I've heard the audio is good too.
I
So
really
good.
like audio.
His
Chauncey.
voice.
I just
Chauncey.
get Chauncey. So cute.
Those characters
Good.
are so cute. I can't. Those characters like oh
It's very wholesome.
It is wholesome. Okay, and that's mine.
yay. Okay. My last one that I was going to talk about from my winter wrap up. I this winter got into memoirs a little bit, which I
Mm.
don't normally do, honestly. I like I memoirs is definitely my favorite type of nonfiction book because I like hearing someone tell me their crazy story. Because most of the ones I listen
Yeah.
to, life is kind of crazy. And the one that I want to talk about is Dinner for Vampires by Bethany Joy
Mm.
Lenz, which I don't know if we've talked about on the podcast before. It is the person who wrote it, Bethany, she is an actress and she played Haley in One Tree Hill. If you've watched that TV show or you know what it is, and her memoir is basically about her life while she was becoming an actress and in that show, and how during the time she was in like a religious cult, like and like kind of didn't know what was going on, was being pretty manipulated. And she tells I listened to the audio because she reads it. You guys, so her story's crazy. Also so good. Like and her listening to it was so fun. So
Oh
I,
yeah, you
I
listen to her reading it.
mhm. And what's fun is she'll talk about dialogue or scenes between other characters that were the other actors, and she used them. They read their lines in that. So
I love it. That's so fun.
yeah, it's really good. Also like sad, obviously, but a good message overall. It was super. I literally listened to it in 2 days. Like it was so good.
Oh
Same.
wow, that's fast.
Yeah.
I still have like a 25-week hold on it, so I'm debating. I was talking to Chloe, I was debating if I should buy it or just
I
wait.
know. I think I'm planning on buying it.
I might too.
On like I would say it's worth it. Like honestly, it was that good. So
Yeah.
but yeah.
That's fun.
So if you want a juicy memoir, that's the one for you.
Sweet. Okay. I just have one more book left to talk about as well. Mine is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Um, I really enjoyed it. It was just a good. I
I
think I
don't
gave it
remember
like
you
three
reading
or
it.
yeah. I read it fall winter time-ish last a couple months ago. I think November-ish. Um, and it's a very I don't know. I think I gave it 3 or 3.5 stars. Like it was a little cheesy, but like I liked it. And that's like what I was reading it for. And it was like it's like mafia meets werewolf vampires. Like it's
What?
just yeah, it's really good. It was just cute. Like I don't know. I feel like I wasn't like I didn't take it too seriously and like it was just fun.
It's like
And I
so entertaining.
yeah,
Like you because I read it and you don't go in thinking, oh, this is gonna be the best book I've ever read in my life. But I
no.
was entertained the whole time.
100%. Like what do you mean he's my mortal enemy? And I like
Wait,
and
guys,
obviously I'm gonna be his bride. Like it was really it
I
was
did not remember you talking about this at all, but I'm like excited. I'm adding it to my TBR.
yes. Yeah, I like forever ago had requested it on Libby, the audiobook, and one day it came and I think I listened to it like one day. It was really good. So
Mm,
yeah.
love it.
It is good. And there's also like a side mystery plot, which is fun, and the characters
Mm.
really fun.
I
And I
really liked the characters. I
there's
really liked
another
them.
one that's coming out
Hmm.
following her friend. So, and it's like what is it? What is not marriage of convenience? It's what do they call that?
Arranged marriage?
Yes, thank you.
Arranged marriage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's arranged marriage in case anyone wants to know, which makes it also fun.
Oh, really?
It's so good. It's really
Yes.
I
good.
don't think I've read an arranged marriage book before, so
Yeah. I
Yeah, it
also
works
really like
out.
the guy. I really like the guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
okay. Slay. I just get so many good recommendations every episode. Uh,
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to tell people to read good books.
but it's bad because my TBR just gets so long and then my books actually read it shortens, but whatever.
I feel that, Macy.
Okay, I could go with my last book if that's fine. Um, and it's just a whole series, and it's just my favorite books in the world, and it's the Magnolia Park series. I don't know why that book is just like my heart. It's like my husband, family, friends, Magnolia Parks.
Yeah.
So freaking good. But I finished the third one, which was Long Way Home, in October, and then I read the last two in the winter. So it was so good. I actually read like on paper the first three books, and then I re-listened to the first three and then listened to the last two. Because the audiobooks are just so dang good. And then obviously I got the series in paperback. So that's one I just am going to be reading and rereading over and over again.
I,
I love them so much. And my sister-in-law actually is on the last book right now, so it's so fun like hearing updates all the time, or like we work together, so I'll get messages from her like throughout the day being like, I love Julian. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
Oh, I love it.
It is so good. So I highly recommend that series. It's so good.
Me too.
I love it. Yes, 10 out of 10.
We rave about those books all the time for good reason. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, all those books, I feel like we had a pretty successful winter
Yeah.
reading, even though Missy and I did not read our books, but that's okay.
About to bring that up again.
I know, sorry. But that being said, I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like there's more books that I would like to read during the spring and summertime ish. Like I think there's just a little more books where it's like, okay, this is like spring and summertime to me.
Yeah.
See, I feel differently. I literally was thinking, like, I feel like there's way more to read in the fall and the winter, but I think because I love like thrillers and I like don't love reading those in the summer. I
Yeah.
think that's,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
And also, I feel like this spring, especially, so many new books are coming out that we have on our radar. So, like, that also, I'm like, there is so much to read. I'm like, there's,
Yeah. We are getting fed
yeah.
all these new books, which we have talked about them. If you look at our episode, that was like our anticipated releases for 2025. Would definitely recommend listening to that. And I just wanted to quickly highlight one of the books as we were just talking about Jessa Hastings. And I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, there's a book that comes out tomorrow called Conditions of Will. I believe all of us are planning to read it. It might even be our book club book for the month of April. Stay tuned. But we are all looking forward to reading to that. So I just had to put a little plug that like it's kind of on all of our spring TBRs.
Yeah.
And just couldn't let this pass by without mentioning our Queen Jessa in this book that comes out. We've explained what it's about, so I won't do that again. You can look it up, but I think we're all very excited.
Yeah.
I I am so excited. And this is one, I think all of her Magnolia Parks books, I've listened to all of them. And so I definitely want to go and buy this book, especially the cover is absolutely stunning.
so
Um, I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. So that comes out when this episode comes out. It'll be tomorrow, April 1st. So very excited for that.
Yay.
yeah.
Yeah, but I think we all have just one book, just like how we did with winter, one book that we want to read during the spring. And so, aside from Conditions of Will, the one that I have is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry.
Yes.
I know. So there's a couple reasons. I've read a couple of her books, and but I haven't read all of them, and so I want to read that one. The main reason being because of the movie that's coming out. I'm pretty sure it's coming out this summer, and I
It
want
is?
to make sure that I read it before it comes out. And so that I for sure am going to read it, because I want to be prepared for the movie, and also I actually have a copy of it, so
There you
I have
go.
zero excuse there. Zero
Yes.
excuse. My prediction though is that it will be 4 stars. So we will see.
What
But yeah,
other Emily Henrys have you read?
I have read Happy Place and Funny Story. So
Mm.
I really, really enjoyed Funny Story. I didn't enjoy Happy Place as much, but I've heard that that's pe not people's typically favorite Emily Henry book, so not too worried.
Those
Yeah.
are the two I've read as well, and I didn't love Happy Place, but actually the people I talked to said it was their favorite. Um,
Oh,
Chloe, have you read People We Meet on Vacation?
Mhm.
Okay.
I
Which
don't,
one?
I liked it, but I feel like that one is typically people's least favorite.
I
I
thought
know.
that.
But I still enjoyed it and it was fun. I think it also depends on what you like because it's like kind of a friends to lovers and there's like a little bit of like a breakup with their friendship and you don't know why type thing. So
Mm,
it's but some people it's their favorite, so it's whatever.
Oh,
They're all good. I've
I'm
never
excited.
read an Emily Henry book that I disliked. So
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I'm
totally.
excited.
yay.
That's a good one. Um, Mine that I have is The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren, which literally didn't know existed till Chloe. So thank you, Chloe, for pushing it. It's one that I was planning on reading on my cruise, but it didn't get downloaded. So, and honestly, today in Utah, the sun has been shining, so I'm like, okay, it's time. Like I can start. And it was officially, I think, uh spring day last week, so it's time. These are all books that we can officially read. And I predicted that it's gonna be 4 stars. I really hope I can give it 4 stars because I really like Christina Lauren, so I'm hoping.
I love
It's
it.
definitely, I honestly think it's my favorite Christina Lauren book I've read.
And honestly, I don't even know what it's about. Chloe just said like hot words that I loved, like bougie and like rich vacation, and I was like, yeah. And like I
Yeah.
don't even know the plot or premise or anything.
I'll just go into it knowing Rich Vacation, you're gonna have a great time. Like I promise. It's freaking good. I love it.
Yay.
I love it. My spring TBR pick is a book that's I've literally seen everywhere and I have it on hold on my Libby and I've gotten it a few times and I'm like I just need to read it. It is The Favorites by Lane Fargo. If you've seen it, it's like everyone and their freaking mom has been talking about it right now. Um I believe it came out in January, so it's a fairly new book.
Yeah, like the end of January.
Heard of it.
Yeah. And people, okay, so some people have been saying that it's kind of a stretch, but the comparison it's been getting is kind of like Daisy Jones and the Six meets Magnolia Parks, is what people are saying, because the book is partly written in interview format. It's between two competitive figure skaters, like a couples Olympic figure skating team. And
Oh.
they like used to be like really good and someone's trying to tell their story about like what happened between them. They kind of like a falling out and the girl figure skater is like no, I'm telling my own story. So I think half of it is like that unapproved like documentary interview style thing, but that's from other characters, and then half the book I believe is from like the girl's POV and her saying like what actually happened type thing. And there, so that's why people say it's like Daisy Jones for the interview, and people say it's like Magnolia Parks because it is apparently so toxic. So I'm excited.
It'll be fun.
I
I'm,
was trying to figure out what was going on in the cover, but the figure skater makes way more sense.
yeah.
I was like, whose arm? And like, I was like,
Yeah.
what is going on? But okay, that's sick.
Yeah.
Um, I just am like already like the people I know that have read it, it's all like 5 stars, five
Yeah.
stars. So that's exciting.
I know. Everyone's saying it's so good. My prediction is I'm just gonna say 4. Okay. 4 range. If I give it like a 4, 4.25, 4.5, 4.75, I don't know if I get, we'll see.
499.
Yeah, there you go. We'll see. But I feel like a 4 stars is pretty solid. So
Yeah, super solid. That would
yeah,
be sick. That's also just going on my TBR.
there you go. Well, yeah.
Thanks, guys.
So we will really try to read our spring books. And I feel like we will, honestly.
I'm gonna
I
put down
think
this
we
time.
will.
Yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
Well, I picked
Yeah.
a book that I've actually been wanting to read.
Mhm.
I'm like already planning on reading, so I think that was my mistake in the past, was I wasn't always doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But these
that's
are all fun, like springy books too. So
yeah,
good.
totally.
Yes. I also went on Hoopla today,
Mhm.
um, and was looking up all the like Regency romance books because to me
Yeah.
that is like
Spring.
springtime. And
Mm.
so I'm like, yep, I am getting in the mood. I'm ready for some warmer weather. It's finally starting to get a little bit warmer. Like, yes, please. So very
Oh,
excited.
that means it's time for me to rewatch Bridgerton too.
I just rewatched it like a month or two ago.
Really?
Oh my gosh. Tell me why I like it more every time I watch it. And like the first time I watched season 3, I was like, not my favorite, but I still really like it. I loved it so much more this time. It's like,
Huh.
oh my gosh.
Now I'll make my husband watch it. Oh, this is a good time. Spring is a great time. I'm excited. So hopefully y'all got some good recommendations, even if it was from our winter wrap up, and then hopefully some good spring TBRs. If you guys have other recommendations, we want to hear it. So make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok. And once again, don't forget to read Sunrise on the Reaping for a book club episode because that's just fire, and it's actually really fun telling people that I know like read or semi-read that it's come out because a lot of people don't know that it
Mhm.
was a book that came out. So um yeah, follow us everywhere. Follow, subscribe on YouTube, TikTok, whatever. I didn't say. You just look us up.
We're there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And with that, see you next episode, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.